Now, I do have a little bit of a disclaimer over this next one. One of the rules that we try to follow here, and if it's ever happened otherwise, it was not intended, and I don't think it's ever happened, but like one of the things we've never watched, regardless of how much people have begged us, was RM of BTS, his lyric song for Expensive Girl. The reason for that was because he had it pulled off of the streaming platforms. Now, I don't Hybe, whoever, but it was pulled. So the way I look at it is, if he don't want it out there, I ain't gonna listen to it. Respect, you're the artist, you call the shots. I mentioned that because this video right here was not on Stromae's official YouTube channel. So before we added it to the list, we had to do a little bit of research and find out, well, why wasn't it on there? And it just turns out it was region blocked. That's all it was. So we were able to find a re-upload of it so that we can watch it. A region block is no big deal. If it had been something deeper, like there was some kind of controversy around it or whatever, and that was not the case. So here we are. It is a bit potato. Okay. So bear with me. All right. So this one is called Peace or Violence. Any subs?
J'ai vu des gens tendre les bras et leurs deux doigts levés, leur majeur et leur index toujours en forme de V. J'ai donc demandé ce que ce symbole pouvait signifier. Eh bien personne ou grand personne n'a pu me l'expliquer. Serait-ce un signe de paix ou bien le V de violence? Quelqu'un sait ce qu'il avance ou ce qu'il fait? Qu'est-ce que j'en sais moi? Qu'est-ce que j'en sais moi? Serait-ce un signe de paix ou bien le V de violence? Quelqu'un sait ce qu'il avance ou ce qu'il fait? Serait-ce un signe de paix ou bien le V de violence? Quelqu'un sait ce qu'il avance ou ce qu'il fait?
All right, we got some gore on this one. It was called Peace and Violence. You shouldn't be surprised, but now you know. Wow.
Et je me suis dit que c'était la même parce qu'il fallait me faire une idée. On m'a traité de pessimiste avec des mots à me suicider. Et j'ai insisté, et encore j'insisterai. Mais apparemment, selon les grands, c'est long à exprimer. Ça prendra le temps qu'il faudra le temps. Mais finalement, je le saurai. Dans 5 ans, ou 10 ans, ou 20 ans. Mais j'espère avant de crever. Qu'est-ce que j'en sais, moi? Qu'est-ce que j'en sais, moi? Serait-ce un signe de paix ou bien le V de violence? Quelqu'un sait ce qu'il avance ou ce qu'il fait? Serait-ce un signe de paix ou bien le V de violence? Quelqu'un sait ce qu'il avance ou ce qu'il fait? Peace or violence? 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 Qu'est-ce que j'en sais moi? 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 Peace or violence? 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 Violence, 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 violence.
His character consistent throughout the video is kind of confusing to me. But the two things that stuck out to me were, one, that this felt like saying, symbolizing, what kind of world will we leave to the generations that come after us? Now, the other piece of that is, or the other thing that I kind of was thinking about was the peace or violence. What will you do with the platform that you have? Like when we see him on stage and we see this shot, like I'm trying to find not even a resolution, because I think what's important about this is that there is no resolution to be had. This is a philosophy that he's presenting. So what will you do with the stage that you have, with the platform that you have? You think it's how we move forward? Okay, yeah, the choice is ours. I agree. Now, this I think is interesting. I also wonder, specifically in this shot, if he is implying in some way that our consumption of media, not just media, and I don't mean freaking Instagram and stuff, I'm talking about like violence as it is portrayed in media, even if whether it's scripted or if it's the 24/7 news cycle of everything that is happening around the world, if that is also the fuel to the fire of how we behave. And then also going back to like the mob mentality. Does that make sense? I feel like the pieces come together pretty well. I mean, I'm putting a theory together, but it really is just a theory. You think it means that young people are used to seeing violence on their phones, so they are desensitized to it? Okay, I could see that. I don't think you can be peaceful unless you're capable of great harm. So instead of choosing to do harm with his influence, he's choosing to promote peace. He's making a stand to be supportive and making the world better for the children. Agreed. I think it's interesting with the baseball bat, how it can be used for a violent act or non-violent act, playing baseball. What we'll use it for. Very well said, Liz. That was great. I loved that. Yeah. Interesting. Wow. See what I mean? Meat. It's got some meat to it. Wow. That was fantastic. I'm going to go one step deeper after I read Ham's comment. Also, the cut from the child screaming as the parents fight cuts to him shouting on stage, him becoming a voice for the voiceless against violence. I'll go one step deeper. I don't think this is right, but I think it would still make sense within the context of this. There are days that look like this. And there are days that look like this. Right? Now, there are there are people in the world who have fewer good days than others. There are places in the world that are hotter than others. Some people are better off than others, right? You're never going to get the full even keel across the board. But I do think it's important that while we, especially from a media standpoint, we are very good about letting everybody know all of the terrible things that are happening in the world in every single corner. Just me. I think statistically, there is 1,000 times more good or neutral things happening that you will never hear about. I will safely call that my opinion. I'm not a statistician, but I do think I think there's more good that happens than bad. But because people are people, and I don't even fault them for that. I think that's how we've evolved. It doesn't, I mean, think about us in like tribal times, like primal times, when it's just like a camp of 6 of us and we're trying not to get eaten by dinosaurs. And we know there's another camp of 6 down the road, down the river, right? It is going to be more beneficial for us to know when those 6 decide to come our way and take our stuff, as opposed to just, oh, they're down there and they're growing corn. Oh, they're growing corn? That's nice. We have corn too. No, you want to know because you have to protect yourself. That's why the bad news, we're like sponges. I think it's part of our evolution. It's in our DNA to know so that we can protect ourselves. We can prepare. Yeah. People focus on the extremes, not the normal. Yeah. I mean, again, just my opinion, but yeah. Good doesn't get headlines. Yeah. One of my favorite things ever was when the pandemic happened and everybody was in lockdown. John Krasinski, who plays Jim Halpert in The Office, John Krasinski, he started from his webcam in his house. He started a good news network. And he would do these either daily or weekly shows where he would tell you about all the good things that were happening while he also was on lockdown. And that was pretty great. A lot of people appreciated that in a very difficult time. At the end of the day, I had to choose to be the change I wanted to be in the world and now also support the change I want to see in others, but can also kick butt as needed. Very well said.